I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I haven't listened to this yet, but I really don't care what you gotta say. But because you're trying to make some things clear and give clarity to the people who are coming at you, I wanted to hear you out. I'm curious. Roll the footage.
What's going on, y'all? I'm not really one for resolutions or nothing like that, but I do have one that I'm going to be leading with a lot more vulnerability and openness in my work, in my life, whether it's here on the internet, all my platforms and shit, or if it's on that stage, And in order to do that, I got to really do that. So I wanted to address something that's kind of this, I guess, been around for a long time, 5 years now, and but I've never addressed it. I know a lot of people talk about me dating Kenny Thompson's ex-wife, and how that came to be, and I'm gonna just tell it to you straight, man. It wasn't no plan. I saw everything that everybody said. Every single thing that everybody said, I saw it, And bottom line is, I'm not the type of person to scheme on a person. I'm not the type of person to even date somebody that like one of my homies has dated. This is a very unique, nuanced thing that happened.
Saying that you would never do it and then you actually did it, is it? The irony. The irony.
We were all cool. There was not. I was never like hitting on. There was never nothing crazy until it got crazy. Bottom line is, while I was at the show, I had some pill issues. I had some pill problems. Nothing too crazy, but crazy for my black ass. And I was even selling some to the people, so some of my castmates. I'm not gonna snitch on y'all motherfuckers, man. But it was really funny to me that like I would be around on this shit, and people would talk shit about it and talk shit about me, and I would hear them because some of that Adderall shit got you fucking superhearing and shit. But wouldn't like help me, I would have panic attacks, wouldn't like be concerned about me and nothing, just would talk shit, and it was crazy how somebody would watch you destroy yourself, This lady was the only one to call me on my shit, help me with my shit. She helped me with my therapy journey, and she told me things about her life that made me look at a lot of people involved in it differently, and in that time, we fell in love, man, and I felt bad from the start. It's always felt like an emotional double-edged sword for me because I really love everything me and Keenan did, bro. I really appreciated every piece of work that we put together. I think that we were a great team, and I hate doing something to somebody that I know would hurt them.
Let me say this real quick, because a lot of us, we have folks around. We smoke with them, we drink with them, and it's fun until the high goes away and the pain is still there, but you don't still have those same people around you when it's time to try to come out of that stupor and get your life together, or to have them uncomfortable conversations about how your mental is, how your spiritual is. But as long as you supplying and you can give them, they everything in the world to you. Now here's another thing I want to point out too, and this is why I'm a very private person, and I advise people who have relationships to keep them private. It's because of situations like this. This man and Keenan, y'all been on the road. You've seen things. Y'all done things together. So much so to the extent that y'all eventually will start looking at each other like brothers at some point. That's a different level of intimacy on a friendship level. When you become so close to somebody that you can consider them family, they start to learn things about you in and out the house, that type of stuff. And you're telling me that you have a drug issue and you have some other things that's internally beating you up going on while you have fake friends and fake supporters around you, not trying to pull you out of that. And then here comes this woman who is going through her own stuff and y'all start the trauma bond because of what's going on with them. She's not having these conversations with him, or is he seeing or saying things to you about the relationship that made you more pervy to be drawn to her because you've been around him so much, and that's why you ended up getting close to her?
No matter who they are, no matter what they've done, that's just not how I'm built. Like, I'm not built like that. I don't for this shit at all, But I did choose love, and that's what this story is. And it made me look terrible. It made me look terrible to people that I love, and a lot of my fans. So I didn't know how to do this without doing this. I'm in therapy, nigga. So like, ever since I figured out that I'm more sad than angry, all my anger issues have turned into tears, nigga. Like, it's crazy, bro. But to all the fans I disappointed, you know what I mean? Like, just know this was not something. I don't feel like a pimp. I don't feel cool about this at all. Besides the fact that I found someone that makes me feel like I didn't even know what love was for real. And I just felt like I couldn't miss out on it. And love is not sensical. And me and him talked about it. And I'm not going to say, and we were cool and we continued to work for a year after we talked about it, and I remember it specifically being said, you know what, let's just keep this shit under wraps. And as soon as everybody found out, shit changed. But look, listen, this is the type of thing that, and you can have a conversation with a nigga about that shit, but she can switch on a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is so serious. And now that I'm in that kind of love, I understand, I understand it completely. I felt like there's probably outside of not doing this at all, there's different ways I could have went about this shit, and but I was in love and I was, and I was spiraling out, bro, and that's what happened. And then by the time everybody found out and the world found out, I was out of there, SNL, And so when I got punched in the face, which we will have jokes about that for sure at the show. Most people who know me from back home would know that, I would be retaliating in a heartbeat, but not this time, bro. This time it felt like fair enough. Anyway, this wasn't meant for laughs. It's just meant for me to just put some narrative on something that a lot of folks is already talking about, but won't bring it up to me at all. I'm sorry for the people I disappointed with this. Just know it wasn't to be a dick. It felt like a love I couldn't miss out on it, and I had to shoot for it. And I've never put anything above my comedy and my work. But I felt like I couldn't move on to the next stage of this creatively without addressing this. So if you don't like seeing grown men cry about hard choices they made, this is going to suck for you as a video. It's going to suck to me to look back on. But 28th, caveat, New York City, I will be starting to address all of this. The whole show is not going to be about this, okay? The whole show is going to be about love. So you know what? I'm gonna have little sheets on the table. You tell me what you've given up for love. You tell me what you sacrificed for love once, and let's just talk about it together, whether it's good or bad, And I'll see you on the 28th.
I have some questions. For starters, when you begin to feel that she was the one giving you that attention because everybody else was crapping on you. Why didn't you have the conversation with him then? You know, because most of us we have that instinct. We know when we are beginning to get a little too personal, or there are signs that there's flirting and there's interest. I'm not talking about I'm delusional. I'm talking about you actually know that maybe we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be having these personal conversations without this party. When all of that was going on, all of these people were doing this to you or not. Were you smiling in his face? Were you talking to him about what was going on with you? Were you saying to him, hey, your wife is kind of looking at me, or she was, giving me some choosing signals? Did you do any of that? More than likely you did. You coveted that man's wife. She gave you the impression that she checked out. You saw it. You went with it. And if you were so honorable and you felt so, I feel bad, you would have had a man to man with him and told him straight up what she was on, what you were on, before this even got to where it was. But you didn't do that. Everybody shitted on you. So you say. And then on the flip side, you were already scoping out what she was doing. You saw the dangers in it. You saw the risk in it. It excited you. You played the game with her. And here we are. And she's not off the hook for none of this shit, because she knew exactly what she was doing. Exactly what she was doing. This is why you do not bring your folks around your people. Family and all that, I get it. Your friends and shit, nah. Keep your personal life private. Good or bad, keep that shit private. They don't need to hang out, none of that. Because people sneaky. They phony as hell. And your woman, man, she wasn't grown enough to talk to you about what she was doing behind your back, and probably created more problems to get out of the marriage so that she could end up with him. Dirt type shit. You talking about that's your love? You ain't know what love was like until her. So you found love in her when this man thought he found love in her. When he said, will you marry me? Now don't get it twisted. It's very possible that Keenan didn't understand what he was getting himself involved in. There's a good chance that he was never supposed to marry her in the first place, and he ignored all the red flags. And she probably was already moving like this before, and he did not see it. Because for her to do this, nah, bro. She never respected you like that. It's impossible. You can, if you're gonna cheat, I get that, my nigga. But to go and cheat with somebody that is close to me, yeah, you don't get fucked at all. But hey, we all human, man. We fuck up and we do things that ain't so pleasant. But Keenan seemed like he was a solid dude, man. I never really heard too much negative about him. So for me to really be like, damn, this happened, bro. Slim had to be a bird. He had to be a whole bird. In the same way you got her, that's gonna be the same way you lose her, bro. You know why? Because of the level of respect that she had for her actual husband. If she could do that to her husband, why you think it's not going to happen to you? Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. I don't know, bro. I ain't mad at the honesty, but you got a rude awakening coming, sir. You think that it's going to be sweet and y'all going to live happily ever after, bro.
Welcome aboard the flight. This is pilot who shies to talking. We going back to Memphis and coming straight from New Orleans. The estimated time of arrival is about an hour, and I can turn your ghost if you try and play with my power. So when you look up and see the sun flashing, stay in your seat. If the flight attendant say you making trouble, then we got beef. The turbulence might get rocky. You better not spill your food. This is